Okay, Lena from the future here. I knew as I was filming the last troubleshooting video that I was going to have to split it in two. As I was working my way through it, I recognized it was just going to be too long. However, I forgot to film the intro to it. So here we are from the future and I'm going to talk about this. So this is actually kind of beneficial because at this point now I do know which video has which things in it. If you are looking for troubleshooting shower products, that would be the part one to this. If you're specifically looking for stylers, I started categorizing these more by the problems you might be having with them. So in the last troubleshooting video, I talked about if a product is causing your hair to dry out, if a product is too moisturizing for your hair, if a product is causing your hair to be frizzy, or if a product is causing flakes in your hair. In this particular video, we will be talking about problems like if it makes your hair feel crunchy, if it makes your hair feel sticky, tacky, producty, gross, if it doesn't give you enough volume, or if it causes elongation, or if it's causing stringy curls / not getting you the definition you need. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely stick around. I do highly recommend checking out the last video as well, the very first part of it at the very least, because I do include a lot of information that I recommend doing before you hop into troubleshooting a product that's going to be very beneficial. Things like resetting your hair, taking pictures, and a couple things like that. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Lena and welcome to my bathroom. And if you do like content like this, please do like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Let's say you've gotten to the end of your wash day, you're scrunching out your hair and you come away and your fingers just feel very producty and you really don't like the way it feels. What could be going on here? With this particular one, I recommend asking yourself what kind of product this is. I kind of put these into two categories, the moisturizing products and the hold products. If you have a moisturizing product that's sitting on your hair that's making it feel really, really gummy and really, really sticky and producty, something like the Curlsmith Featherlight Protein Cream for me does this. I would recommend isolating this product out. Yes, it is a curl cream. This does actually have a level 4 out of 10 hold to it. So you can experiment with it on its own and then just see if all on its own it's giving you that feeling. Another product that does this for me is actually the Shea Moisture Curl Glam cream that I tried a couple weeks back in the product battle. It just sat on my hair, feels really gunky and really gritty. There's a couple of reasons that this might be happening. One is maybe you don't have enough water in your hair. Water can help the product kind of penetrate your strands a little bit better and help your hair absorb it a little bit better. On the other side, it could be that you're going in with too much product. Like when I used this one a while back and I did the entire strength line, that was something like 5 different stylers. That's definitely going to cause some kind of icky feelings on your hair because it's just a lot and your hair can't take that much. So by paring down how many products you're using, that could help. Going in with less of the product and like I said with some of the other problems, watering it down before you're applying it if you feel like you need help with using a smaller amount and making it spread a little easier through your hair. But that's what I would do, is go in with just this product, try it on its own, and then if it doesn't feel too producty, then maybe going in with just this product in a gel and making sure that I just use small amounts of both of them. Now on the other side you have products that make your hair feel icky and sticky and tacky that are meant for hold. So things like hard hold gels or texturizing sprays of some sort. So here I have the Curlsmith Effortless Waves as well as the Not Your Mother's Curl Tuck Hard Hold Gel. Now with these products, it could be too much of the product as well. It could be that you're not using enough water in your hair or enough water with the product. Another thing that can happen with these kind of products though is if you're using these on their own, your hair might just need a little bit of extra moisture to them. I personally have found that hard hold gels can be very tricky to work with. I actually would like to make an entire video about kind of how to troubleshoot your hard hold gels. They tend to be too much for my hair. They weigh it down, they make it scraggly and just not very good. What I would recommend if you have a hard hold gel or a texturizing spray that is not working well for your hair, or even a hairspray, one, go in with something moisturizing first. Leave-in conditioner, curl cream, whatever you prefer. I like curl creams because they do help give you more definition to your hair, whereas a leave-in conditioner focuses mainly on moisture. Then going in, especially with a hard hold gel, using a lighter held gel first, one that's really liquidy and runny that I can actually glaze through my hair. This gives me a security net. I know this product has hold to it. I know that if I rake it through my hair, I'm going to get that hold, so I'm less likely to overdo the hard hold gel. And then going in and just using a small dime-sized amount of this in your hand, and then actually spraying some water with it, working those together before glazing it over your hair at the very end of your routine. And that can help kind of keep you from overdoing this kind kind of product. Other things to keep in mind, if you have some products, like let's just say your general hairspray that you spritz over your hair at the end, or a texturizing spray. I have the Herbal Essence Wavy Texture Hairspray here. They just do that. That's part of the product. That's part of what they do, is they make your hair feel gritty. And that's part of what's going to give it the actual hold as well as a little bit of volume. But you have to kind of sacrifice that sticky, tacky feeling to your hair. I don't find I struggle quite as much with the Effortless Waves from Curlsmith giving me a tacky feeling as I do with the Herbal Essence one. But something like a hairspray, using a curly girl friendly one, if you will, that's alcohol free, can be beneficial if you prefer, because those kind of products just are going to make your hair feel sticky and tacky. You may just have to use it up, get rid of it, and keep in your mind that you don't use that again in the future, and keeping in mind that certain types of products just do that. So if you pick up a texturizing spray or a hairspray, maybe watching other people's reviews on them to see if it makes their hair feel sticky or tacky. One last type of product that can do this to your hair, typically if it says it's volumizing product, it does this in a couple of different ways. She's dreaming. Sorry, that was really cute. Oh my gosh, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, that's right. Volumizing products. Some of them give you that volume by making each individual strand just a little bit thicker, which is going to add extra volume. These type of products don't tend to make your hair feel sticky or tacky. They always can, but they don't tend to. But there's the other kind that does it by actually putting a film over each individual strand to help kind of increase the volume of your hair. And those kinds kind of do just sit on your hair and make it feel sticky or tacky. Some things you could do with this that you could try is you could sandwich that underneath another product that might help kind of seal in that tacky feeling a little bit. You go in with this texturizing spray and then actually go with a gel over the top of it. That might help decrease the stickiness just a little bit. But these kind of products do tend to be tricky just because that's something they're going to do. A lot of products that leave that producty feeling on your hair, that's just how they are, and there's not really much you can do about it other than try to decrease the amount and just use them up and not rebuy them. An entire category that I realized I kind of forgot to mention that I think is useful to some people is, what if you get a product and it's giving you too much crunch? Now, if you're really a beginner at this, you may not necessarily know this. If it's just the gel cast that's bothering you in that crunchy aspect, that's something you can remove. You just smooth your hands over your hair, maybe scrunch a little bit, and then fluff it up and it's gone. You don't have to worry about it. In fact, that gel cast is kind of a good thing because that's going to tell you this product is giving you longevity. However, if you don't particularly like that, there are products that don't give that to you. Things like foams. This isn't the best example, but let's just say the Verb foam or the Trelux foam don't give you super strong casts, and a lot of them will soften on their own throughout the day without you even touching it. A lot of harder hold products, again like the Aussie Instant Freeze Gel, are going to give you a pretty hard crunchy cast to your hair. Some things you can do if you're having a really hard time breaking that cast, use some sort of hair oil. So this one right here is a Curlsmith bonding oil, and then another option would be something like the Twist by We Dad Curl Rain Multi-Use Miracle Oil. But all you really have to do to break that cast then is take a little bit, just one pump of this oil, spread it between your hands, and that can help soften up the crunchiness a little bit to help you remove it if it's just really, really strong. The other thing to keep in mind is then the next time you use that product probably means you need to decrease the amount of it or put a more moisturizing product underneath it. If you're using a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream underneath of some sort of hard hold gel like this, it's going to help keep that pretty soft and it's going to help it from getting quite as crunchy. Other things, decreasing the amount that you use. I know I've done this before where I just put too much in my hair and it was almost impossible to break the cast. Other people have found that you can actually use your diffuser on your dry hair and go in with your diffuser to help soften up the cast and make it easier to break. Overall, I think unless the crunchiness is caused from dryness, in which case see the last video where I talk about what to do with dry hair, that's really all I can think of. Drop comments down below if there's any other questions you have on this topic. What if you get a new product, you try it, you get to the end of your routine and your hair is kind of just stringy? It didn't really clump together very well. You got a lot of scraggly bits and it just doesn't look great. The first thing that I would ask myself is, do I need a haircut? And if the answer is no, the next thing I would ask myself is, do I need a hair reset? Because buildup can be a big factor in scraggly hair. It can lead those strands to not really stick together very well and not give you what you're looking for. If you did pair it with a lot of other products, again, the problem could be too much product, could be too much of that particular product, as well as too much of overall product. So isolating it down and making sure that that product is the one that's the problem. Though on the other side, sometimes what can happen is, again, if you go in in with a harder hold product like this, these can cause your hair to be a little bit more on the scraggly side. So I would go in and pair this with something that's going to be a little bit more moisturizing. I guess what it comes down to is if you feel like it's the moisturizing product that's making your hair scraggly, try using less of it because it might just be too much. And read the back of the bottle. If it says that it's meant to give you definition, I wouldn't really expect that. You might want to mess with more water, less water. For some people actually works better for this. Keeping in mind some products just do this. I don't remember if this did it for me or not, but sometimes if you have a product that is meant to be a thickening product or a volumizing product. So this is the Curlsmith Full Body Thickening Lotion, the Briogeo Curl Charisma lineup. So I have the gel and the cream here. Some of these products, in order to give you volume, actually work by separating out your strands. So they make it so they actually don't clump as well. So that could potentially be your problem, is you've gone in with a product that says it's meant to be volumizing and thickening and it's left you with scragglier hair. What you can do with this is you could go in with this thickening lotion first and then put something over the top of it that is going to help bring those back together, help clump them back up. In this case, I have found that the Curlsmith Hydro Flexi Jelly does help actually retwist the strands. So it's going to bring down some of that volume a little bit, but if it's just too scraggly for you, you don't like how small those curl clumps are, that is something you can try. Again, more water can help bring them together again, pairing them with different things to test and try out. And when it does separate them out a little bit more, you do tend to get more volume. So it's just asking yourself, do you want the volume or do you want the definition? You can meet halfway in the middle, but you're not going to get the extremes of both. Or other products that I personally have actually found really help to retwist some of those strands are your curl foams. The foams really help to clump them for me. So maybe you go in with your thickening lotion and then go in with something like this over the top of it. Let's say you've gone through your wash day and you get to the end, you fluff it up, and instead of stringy hair, you actually find that your other problem is that you have really, really flat hair and it just didn't get a ton of volume to it. So for me, one that did this was the Shea Moisture Hydrate and Repair Whipped Curl Cream. I really liked the results this gave me. It really gave me some good clumps of definition. However, it did not give me a ton of volume. So what are some things you could do? With this particular product, I had already tried this on its own. So I tried isolating it out because that would be the first thing that I would recommend. Isolate it out, make sure that you're not using too much product on your hair. Because if you're using 3 or 4 different stylers, again, you could just be weighing your hair down. So if I use this with a leave-in conditioner and a gel, that's just going to be too much. It's going to be too heavy. It's going to weigh my hair down, cause it to not have a lot of volume. In this case, I had already tried this on its own. So if I was troubleshooting this, trying to get more volume out of it, what I would do next is go in with another product that is more volumizing. So maybe an example would be that I use the Curlsmith thickening lotion underneath this to try to get more volume. Or on the other side, I put something like the Effortless Waves over the top of it. This is going to give me a little bit more volume as well. Some foams will give you more volume. So something like the Curlsmith Bouncy Strength Volume Foam is going to help boost your volume a little bit as well. Sometimes even something like a mousse is going to help with volume a little bit more than a gel. Editing Lena here. There's a few other types of products that I forgot to mention here when it comes to increasing volume in your hair, one of which is a root volume spray. Now, I currently don't own any that I would recommend. However, I know Curlsmith, as of the day that I'm editing this, literally just came out with one. So expect a video on that soon. That being said, these are products that you typically just spray at your roots, wait for them to dry down a little bit, and then shuffle your hair up, and it will give you a boost of volume. Another type of product that sometimes you can use for this is a hairspray. Again, you just spritz a light coat over your hair, wait for it to dry a little, shake it up. It can give you a little bit of a boost. The last type that I forgot is actually a dry shampoo. I've done this in the past. I totally just spaced it. I don't have any dry shampoos currently that I would recommend. You have to be careful about drying alcohols in them. Now, that can be beneficial to some extent, depending on what your hair needs. Like if you're on day 3 or 4, those drying alcohols help dry out some of the grease and oil in your hair. But if you're doing this on day 1 or 2, dry alcohol free would definitely be preferable. So if you know of any that would fit into this category, please drop them down in the comments below and help a girl out. Otherwise, these are really good for volume. You just spritz them in your roots, let it kind of settle a little bit, and then shake your hair up. It can give you a little boost of volume. That being said, if you're okay with a gritty texture, you could go in with something like a hard hold gel and put it over the top of it, because that gritty texture can sometimes result in more volume. It's why a lot of people like hard hold gels. And again, just one last reminder, if this is a problem for you, you could still try doing a hair reset, because sometimes it can be that the buildup on your hair is what's actually weighing it down, not necessarily the product itself. Or sometimes the product can be weighing your hair down because it's just too moisturizing for your hair, in which case you could try some of the techniques that I already mentioned mentioned, for moisturizing your hair. You could go in with less of the product, pair it with other products that are giving you a little boost of protein to your hair and watering it down a little bit more. But what if you try a new product, you get to the end and your hair is really just stretched out, it didn't shrink up as much as you wanted it to, it's elongated? The first thing you want to do is check your product. If the product says on it that this is a shrinkage defense product, or this is an elongating gel, they're going to stretch it out and elongate it a little bit. This one in particular was a little tricky. So this is the Cake, the Curl Crush Curl Jelly. And I didn't notice until I was reading through the back here that it says elongated curls that stay all day. So that one isn't quite as obvious. So sometimes that's where reading the back comes in really, really handy, is it says it's going to elongate your hair. It says it's going to stretch it out, add length to it. These kind of products are really meant for people with tighter textures. They don't need help with shrinkage, they need help with elongating. This is the Cream of Nature Pure Honey Shrinkage Defense Curl Activator. Shrinkage Defense is meant to elongate your hair. Accept it, acknowledge it, find it beautiful in and of itself. This gave me really nice, pretty wavy results that were not necessarily what I typically go for, but they still looked really good on me. So you could just embrace it and say, when I want more of a beachy look, this is the product I go for. On the other side, again, if you did use them with something else, then you isolate it out. The Cake, the Curl Crush Jelly to Die For Curl Jelly. I use this paired with the curl cream and the curl mousse. If you are using too many products together, it might be the moisture that's dragging your hair down, or just the overabundance of products, or maybe you're overusing some of them and it's just too heavy for your hair. So by isolating them out, you can see if that's really something that's happening for you, especially because I haven't actually tried this one and it's gonna be one that I do here coming up soon. But right here I have the Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink Flaxseed Elongating Curl Gel. It says it's an elongating gel, but if you actually read the directions, it says apply more for tighter curls and less for elongated curls. So it could be that you just kind of vary the amounts that you use of this particular product. So maybe I go in with this product and I use a lot to see what happens, and the next time I use a smaller amount and see if one works better than the other. And again, something that you can do if you've tried all else, you have a product like this that you want to use up, but you really just don't like the elongated look, pair it with something else that you know is going to give you that shrinkage. Something like the Uncle Funky's Daughter Curling Magic. I don't know specifically if these two would pair well together. It could be interesting to try them out, or these two, it might be too heavy, but it's kind of the trial and error here. So I know this one gives me good shrinkage, it gives me good clumps, and it gives me really good results. So pairing it with something like this might help shrink my hair up a little bit more. A lot of products that are more on the elongating side are more on the moisture side. Protein actually does help shrink your hair up a little bit. So finding a product with some protein in it could help to balance that out and shrink it up just a little bit more. And again, other things you could try too is something like adding more water to your routine or using less of the product. On the other side, this one here says to add more for more shrinkage. So trial and error is really kind of what it comes down to. Our final topic here, which is definition. What if you bring home a new product, you've tried it for the first time, and it doesn't give you the definition that you really truly want? Again, I do recommend isolating this product out, because if you're going in with several different products at once, it could be, again, that you're just using too much product on your hair and they're just kind of counteracting each other, not giving you definition, stretching your hair and weighing it down. Another thing, again, to keep in mind if you're not getting the definition you want, is to go in and do a hair reset. Really strip all of the buildup out of your hair, because buildup can stop your hair from clumping and twisting together. Now, let's say you've done all of those things. You know you don't need a haircut. You just did a hair reset and a hair mask that you know works really well for your hair, and you've tried this product on its own and it just doesn't work well for you. A good example of this is I have the Shea Moisture Frizz-Free Curl Mousse. I tried this all on its own and it really just didn't give me a whole lot of definition. Other things that might do this is, let's just say you've tried a hair gel all on its own that's not really super moisturizing. I don't know about this one specifically. I've never used it on its own, but some gels really just aren't going to give you the clumps and definitions that you need. You need some sort of cream typically to do that. Now, some gels will. Some gels will help twist your hair together. So something like the Tralux High Definition Gel, this does give me really good definition to my hair. It helps give me those clumps and the shrinkage that I want. But maybe something like the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Hard Hold Gel, hard hold products are not going to give you the definition. So you need to go in with another product that's going to give it to you. Or on the other side, you get products like this. Again, this is the Cream of Nature Curl Activator Shrinkage Defense. It's meant to elongate your hair. A lot of products that are meant to elongate your hair on looser textures will kind of get rid of some of that definition. So what are some of the things that could be going on here? First of all, if you're going in with something like this product alone, a hair foam, it might just not have enough hold for you. So you may want to go in with a second product to layer over the top of it to give it a little bit more hold, which which is going to give you better results in the end. Other things that you could consider with something like this is pairing it with a cream underneath it, something like this. So the Cantu Curl Activator underneath this is going to help give you a little bit more definition to your hair, a little bit more boost to your actual strands, give you the shape that you want. This is going to maybe give you a little bit of volume and a small amount of hold. This is meant to be more anti-frizz, moisture, and shine. So it's going to give you the anti-frizz as well as the shine to your hair. And then maybe you, after that, layer this over the top. Some foams will also give you more volume than anything. So maybe putting it in at the very end of your routine to help kind of boost your volume is the way to go. So just trial and error, testing it with different products. Now, worst case scenario with products like this, I find, is just not giving me what I want on my wash day. This particular product I can use for refreshing. It's how I've used most of this up, is when I'm on day 2, day 3, I just take a little pump of this in my hand. So right now I'm on day 2. My daughter may have broken that one. We will use a better example that is not broken. We'll just use this one. So here I have the Cake, the Thick Trick, Totally to Die For Volumizing Styling Foam. So this is meant to be a volumizing product. We talked about this a little bit earlier. When you come across a volumizing product that's making your hair a little straggly, it may just need to be paired with other products and products with more holds to make it work well. But what you can do is you can use it to refresh with. You go in over the top just to help with a little bit of the frizz on that day, as well as to help give your hair a little boost in volume. And then that way you can use that particular product up without having to throw it away. You can do this kind of thing with mousses as well. So if you get a mousse that you're really just not liking the results of, this one's fine. I have no problems with this one. This was just the closest one I had. But maybe something that's a little cheaper, the Herbal Essence Volumizing Mousse. I haven't actually tried this one yet. I plan on making a video of this. But you can do the same thing with these kind of products. You take a little bit of the mousse in your hand and you use it as a refreshing product, not so much as a day one product. Or you can use this as your final step to your routine when you're styling your hair. So you make sure you start with a product that you know gives you definition. Some foams do work really well for this. So something like the Verb Curl Foaming Gel. I don't have that close on hand, but the Tralex gel gives me really good clumps. And then you layer something over the top of it that's going to give you a little bit more hold, because let's be honest, foams don't always give you the best hold. So the Twist Weather Up Gel is also going to give you anti-humidity. So it's going to help with any frizz that you might be getting. And then you go in with your foam that's meant for volume over the very top, or your mousse over the very top, and then you finish your routine with that. And that's going to give you a little boost of volume, help seal things in a little bit better, and help give you less frizz. There's a couple things I want to say here to really close all of this out and kind of bring things back. If you are someone who is starting out on your journey, you have just started learning how to take care of your wavy or curly hair, and you're finding some products that just don't really work great for you, my recommendation would actually be to tuck those products away. You might find that if you go in with this product where your hair is still damaged and transitioning, it just leaves it super stringy and frizzy and doesn't look great. But you come back in a year when your hair is a lot healthier and this product might work a lot better for you. That actually happened to me pretty recently. I retried the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie. I remember finding this super heavy on my hair, didn't really do the job when I first started wearing my hair wavy. I went in with it again pretty recently and it gave me really good results. When it comes down to it, I can give you all of this advice, but there are some products that just aren't going to work well for you. Another thing that you might find is that you just don't need a product like that. Maybe you're going in with a lot of heavy products with curl creams and leave-in conditioners and curl activators, and your hair is actually really healthy like mine, and it no longer needs that moisture. And you might be better off just using very small amounts of these kind of products just to use them up, if you even do that. Sometimes we just can't get products to work for us. Again, that doesn't make these products bad products. Sometimes it just means that it's not what we're looking for. Maybe see if you can pass it on to somebody else in your life who might like it or try it. Hopefully somewhere in this video, these last few videos really, you found something useful and helpful. Hopefully this is the end to this 3-part series, a nice little trilogy here for troubleshooting products. Like I said, I have every intention of kind of continuing this a little bit by going in with products that I didn't particularly love, troubleshooting them and talking about my process as I work through that and seeing if I can make them work a little bit better for me. If you have any particular products that you would like to see me do this with, whether or not I currently own them or not, I could try to get a hold of them if enough people really want to see them. If you have any other thoughts about things that I maybe missed in these last 3 videos, things that you would either like me to cover or that you just have questions on, or maybe you have other things that you have tried in the past that really help make something a little bit more useful to you, leave comments down below. My goal here is to be as helpful as possible. If you have more information information, definitely drop it down below, and hopefully we can help as many people use their products as possible. If you do like content like this, please do like and subscribe. I post a brand new video almost every single Friday, and coming out next week or the following week, I am cutting my sister's hairs here soon, so that's probably going to be the next one after this. And then after that, I am doing another product battle. So if you'd like to see any of those videos, definitely like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you haven't had enough of me yet, I'm actually also on a second YouTube channel. My twin sister and her spouse have a tabletop RPG game that I am a part of. So if you would like to see that, definitely go check it out. Any likes and subscribes mean the world to us. And hopefully, I will see you next time.